Good morning, Biccies. How's it going? It's Tara. I hope you're all good this morning. It's 11-ish o'clock. It's Wednesday. It's time for the Biscuit Box. Before I dive into today's session, I wanted just to take a few seconds to say, holy feck, what a week. Sorry if there's children around. What a week of amazing feedback from my live from last week. Feedback that was so powerful for me to listen and to read all the comments and the stories that were shared with me, and the impact that talking about this stuff has on everybody. Holy crap, like I was overwhelmed. Thank you so much for sharing stuff with me, and for just giving, sharing the support as well for me sharing my story, and it just meant the world to me. So thank you to everybody that took the time out to send me an email or a message or a comment or a like, or however way you wanted to contribute to that. Thank you so much. It really, really meant a lot. And something that I took away from it was that we are all on the same path, lads. We're all struggling with stuff like, stuff that you think you're struggling with on your own. I've just gotten so many emails with people narrating the same things, the feeling of overwhelm, the feeling of not being good enough, of living that double life, that you're working your 9 to 5 and you're dreaming about that time where you can create full time. And will that ever happen to me? And thanks for sharing that. But also just to say to everybody listening that watched last week's live and what I talked about resonated with you. You're so not alone. Like, I'm not even going to tell you the number of people that contacted me, and you all kind of said the same thing. So there's a huge amount of people feeling the same way. And I think the more we talk about it, the more we can inspire each other. And this is why it's important when you're in a community, to bring up the stuff that you might feel a little bit, do I share this? Do I not? Does it make me look insecure? Does it make me look unprofessional? If I share my fears around stuff, is that going to have a negative impact? Feck that. The impact is sharing how you really feel, because you're going to help someone else, because they're 99% of the time feeling the same way. And if we have honest conversations with each other as business owners, as creatives, it changes everything. So if you're in an area and you know another creative person, reach out. Do you want to meet for an old coffee, or we'll snake up to the pub for a pint there and just have the chats about how difficult it is or what you're struggling with? Because a problem shared is a problem solved in my mind. And when you do share stuff, it just changes everything, doesn't it? And I know that being a creative and working on your own, and not even in the creative sector, I think across the board, it's a lonely old space. But it doesn't have to be like that. With, thankfully, the power of online, you can, a lot of people reach out to me saying, I'm in the middle of the sticks. Like, I'm the only creative in the village. That's what it feels like. Use online, get involved in an online community like Bite the Biscuit or wherever, and reach out to people, because we're kind of lucky. Creative people are naturally givers. We're naturally nurturers. We naturally want to help. And I see this every day. So make sure you're tapping into that, lads, into that amazing resource that you have of being a creative. And use it to help yourself and to help other people as well, because it comes back to you. I swear to God, it really does. So thank you again for an amazing week of insight and inspiration, and just me going, wow, like, this is incredible. Just the impact that sharing your story has. And I urge every single person that has a story. Even if you think it's a crap story, share your story, because it's not crap. Everyone has gold in their story, no matter where or what you've done or how you've gotten to where you've been now. There is gold in there for somebody. So don't be afraid to share it. I know how difficult it is, but very, very powerful. Okay, gang, I just want to see who's in with me this morning. Hey, Niamh, how's it going? Hey, Vivian. Hey, Breda, how's it going? Hey, Liga. Hey, Marie-Claire, how's it going? Hey, Rachel, how's it going? Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Liga. Jeannie Mac. Thanks for, I need to get my hair done. I have the old band on. I'm rooting my head off. Okay, so, hey, Denise, how's it going? Hey, Lynn, how's it going? There's a few of you in this morning. So today, what I wanted to do was open up the floor for some Q&A. I've been doing shitloads of one-to-one sessions over the last month, and July is my last month of one-to-ones. And I love them because they're very if you're ever kind of chatting to a mentor or someone that helps you with your business, or a friend that's in business and getting results, and you kind of tap into their brain, the real power, I think, or the real kind of impact is when you're bantering stuff out. And anyone that has done a one-to-one to me will know what I mean when I say I don't really work like normal people. Everyone has their own kind of process, but the magic for me is when you're chatting, when you're bantering stuff out. And we do this quite a bit in the Biscuit Factory, where we do lives every Monday. And some Mondays I just come in, and I know there's some factory members, hey, Liga, in here. There's some, we just do a hop on and a Q&A session. And Jeannie Mac, from just bantering out, answering questions, other people get huge value from the topics that are discussed, because as we go back to the start of this live, 99% of the time, everyone is kind of struggling with the same thing. So don't be afraid to ask the question, even if you think it's a stupid question. There are no stupid questions. That's at the foundation of what Biscuit is all about. There are no stupid questions when you're, and I say this on all the trainings, and Liga, you'll be smiling at this. When you ask a question, in my mind, this is the way how I feel about questions. When you ask questions about stuff, even if they're simple questions like, where is the button to turn on my computer? What does that mean? It means you're curious, you want to improve what you're doing, you want to get better, you're not afraid, and you're ready to push forward. So the more questions you ask, the more knowledge you're going to have, the easier your journey is going to be. So never, ever in any context, networking events or blah, never feel shy about asking questions if you have one in your head, because you're probably asking the question that everybody around you wants to ask. So why not be that person that steps up and goes, feck the whole, I don't want to look stupid thing. To mind that, like, that's not going to get you anywhere. That's only going to make you more confused. So ask away. So I'd love to open up the floor. If anyone live wants to ask me a question about anything, please feel free to just hit me in the comments, and I'll dive in as much as I can. And I hope it really helps people watching live as well and on the replay. And if you're watching the replay, feel free to ask me a question in the comments as well. And I'll come back to you on it on the next Q&A session that we do. Oh, hey, Una, how's it going? Marie says, new to Biscuit and loving it. Yay, great. Well, we're happy that you're here, Marie-Claire. I hope that I'm pronouncing your name properly, that you say Marie-Claire. Okay, Liga Valk, my earring queen. I just love her earrings so much. Okay, so Liga has so many new ideas. So this is Liga's question. Hang on, it's not a question, it's a statement, but I'm going to put that up anyway, Liga. So Liga says, got so many new ideas from our recent Q&A in the factory, always learn from others, and it gives me new ideas to move forward. Absolutely, I think that's right. I thought you were asking me a question, Liga. I was getting really excited. Yay, question, yay. So yes, and that's the thing. When you have conversation about stuff, you do learn, and you can apply it to your own business and your own projects and your own struggles as well. Hey, Paddy O'Callaghan, how's it going? Good to see you, Paddy. Hey, Andrea, how's it going? Okay, so while we're waiting for you guys to ask me a few questions, go on. I want to start answering a question from a few one-to-ones that I've had. That the same question has been popping up a lot, and it's something that I covered yesterday on a one-to-one with the Bicky that hopped on with me, and she asked me this. She said, Tara, how the hell do you manage all the things? How do you, because I have a lot of things to manage, as you guys might see, like there's the Bite the Biscuit page, we've almost 6,000 members, there's the Private Factory Facebook group, plus the library of all the content that we have on there and all the events that we run connected to the factory. So there's all that to manage. And then there's workshops and the foundation program and blog writing and blah, blah, and me and my family and my husband, who I never talk to. I just take him out of it. Poor Matt. Anyway, there's a lot of things up in the air. And I know you struggle with that as well, because that is the underlying thread through all the things. How do you manage all the things? And I just want to share with you, my kind of process for how I work, like not how I work, like I, hold this and it, not like that, obviously, just a process that I use for getting shit done. So the two key tools that I use, actually, the three key tools that I use, the first two that have got me to this point in my business, and the third is a new addition that I've introduced to my business because I'm growing so rapidly, right? And you'll get there too, but it has taken me 4 years to get here with sweat, and blood and lots of tears. Let's not talk about the elephant in the room and tears. I'm not going to cry today, by the way. That was a one-off. Oh. Anyway, the two tools I want to talk to you about first. The first tool is Google Calendar, right? So I use Google Calendar for everything, both personally and professionally. And if it's not in the calendar, I sit on my chair and look at the wall. I can't function, because there's so many things to do. And what the calendar does is, when you go in every morning and you check your calendar and you can see your week laid out, and you can see, okay, on Monday morning from 9, I sit at my desk at 9, from 9 to 10, I do exactly this and I do nothing else. And I have blog Monday morning, and that's my chunk of hour, right? And then what happens is I simultaneously, I can't say that word, synchronize my Scrum board, right? So my Scrum board will tell me what kind of blog I need to write, why I'm writing it, what content and what topic I should be writing about. But my calendar tells me the task type that I'm doing, and the Scrum is in more detail, and more strategy work is on the Scrum board. So I use them together. I'm not saying that word today. Sick off, simultaneously. I use them together. So I sit down, I organize my calendar for the week, and a lot of it's on repeat. So I know every Monday morning between this time and this time, I'm writing a blog. Here's the important bit. From this time to this time, I take a break. If it's not in the calendar, I tend to not take a break, and we have to take breaks. I've learned that the hard way, because you burn out, you're not clear, you're not productive when you say, God, did I eat lunch? Have I gone to the toilet? You're kind of all over the shop. Putting in the calendar to take a break, and I set my alarm, and I was talking to a lady yesterday about this. I set my alarm, so I make sure that when I sit down from 9 to 10, this is, say, for example, my blog writing, that my alarm goes off at 10 o'clock, I snooze it, wrap up in the snooze, and I finish. Whether it's finished or not, I finish that task. And I swear by this process when you're jumping around, because otherwise you're not going to hit your daily tasks there's just no process. You're just flootering around the place and you tend to stay on social media all day. So that's my process. It's Scrum board and Google Calendar and my phone, my alarm. So that's 3 really. And the newer kind of online thing that I've started integrating into my business is the Trello. So if you're at a point where you're working with other team members or you have lots of projects on the go, Trello is an amazing tool. It's kind of like the Scrum board in software. It's very, very similar, but it's a really powerful tool as well. So I'd advise you to check that out. I'm going to leave the link actually in the comments for the Trello software, just if it helps. To go in and check it out if you're into online stuff, or even if you're not, lads. It's just so easy to use, because I'm so like not techie and hate complicated things. I've enough going on in my brain. So okay, so let's see. Is anyone asking me any questions? Okay, Vivian, hey Vivian. Vivian says, are there any key points to creating big energy around a product and getting people to buy it? Yes, great question. Really good question. Okay, so we all know, well, I know that Vivian has just launched an amazing face serum, right? And Vivian, please post in your sales page to show everybody your serum. This is one way of getting attention, turning up on live things like this and asking questions and sharing the link. So don't be afraid to share the link of what you're talking about when you're asking questions about it. It's okay to do that. Don't ever feel that you can't do things, especially in the biscuit world. There are no rules. The more times you show off, the happier that you're going to be and that I'm going to be to see that you're actually proud of what you do. So Vivian, hit us with your link. So, are there any key points to creating big energy around a product and getting people to buy it? Yes. So let's look at this, right? When you have a new product and you want to sell it, right? I see this all the time. 9 times out of 10, what happens is people are so into their product and they're so deep into the creation, the branding, the packaging, all that stuff, right? That when they launch the product, they're knackered because that energy that has to get you there is so time consuming and so heavy on you emotionally that when you get there, you just want to put it out there and want to watch the sales come in. But actually, the reality is that the creation of something and the getting it live is the easy bit. Sorry. The hard bit is converting people into actually selling. Now, Vivian, you did a very smart thing, and I know you're doing this. You're sending out samples to people. I think that's a great idea. But I also, when you're launching a product, the big thing that I want you to focus on is this. When you're online, what is the call to action? Where are you driving people to, and who are you talking to? So I know we did this a bit in the factory because you were a member of the factory for a while, and I want you to go back to your avatars of who you're selling to. And I think you know very well who she is, right? But there could be 2 maybe avatars, and I want you to think about her and what you want her to do. Don't ever assume that people want to directly go to a sales page to buy a product, especially if it's a higher priced product. Think about it. People need to know the product, the benefits of the product, the before and after results of a product like yours. It's a face serum that gets amazing results, right? So when you're sending people to something, hey, here's my new product, here's what it is, and you send people over to where are you sending them? Automatically, Vivian, I am guessing you're sending people to the sales page. Not a good idea unless they've been on your list, they've told you they liked your product, they've gotten a sample, then you send them to the sales page. You need to send them to a blog post, to a testimonial page, to a video, because you do amazing video, to a video of you talking about why you are doing what you do. You have to bring people into your world and on a journey, or in marketing blah blah terms, into your sales funnel. What does that process look like? Where are you bringing people from A, B, C? You don't bring flat, hi there, how's it going? Buy my thing. Like, zero conversion, because people don't know, like, and trust you. So you have to focus on the know, like, and trust factor. I know that's a real buzz, blah, 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 but it's so true. Think about how you purchase stuff. Unless it's new, and I bought these recently, bamboo earbuds, which cost me like €6. You know, because I was looking for them, and they're under 10 quid, and I wanted them, and for the baby and the environment thingy. And so I went straight to the sales page. But if you're selling a higher end product, or any kind of product, actually, that is creatively driven, and that has a story behind it, you have to expose that first before the sales thing. Does that make sense? Okay. I hope that makes sense, Neve. Not Neve, Vivian. Sorry, I was looking at Neve's comment. Hey, Neve, how's it going? Okay, so Neve says, hey, Tara, I am working in a rebrand for my business. Yay! And I love rebrands and have so many ideas every day. Sorry, I'm just going to put this up. Sorry, Neve. And I have so many ideas every day. As I'm so busy, I forget to capture them. From videos to blogs to one-to-one to client work. How do you manage to capture all your ideas and creative journal recordings? Help, thanks. Okay, so what I do, Neve, when I have, I would actually, my whole life is a schedule. I would really suggest that you have an audio thing on your phone. If you have, if you're coming up with ideas on the fly, like, document them on your phone, record yourself, I use a spreadsheet for ideas. So I would have like my blog idea spreadsheet where I do, in my calendar, a part of my, I wouldn't spend a huge amount of time, but I would make sure that once a week I visit my idea generation page where I just put down ideas. Where you're listening to conversations, people are asking you the same questions. You do a lot of client work, so you're having the same conversations all the time. People tell you the stuff that they want you to talk about, right? So you just have to put it in one place to reference it for when it's blog writing day, or if you're batch blog writing, make sure you're documenting it in one place. I use Trello for that now. I used to have a spreadsheet. I kind of do too, because I'm transitioning over everything to Trello, but Trello is a great tool, Neve, if you're in that kind of, I'm managing all the things. Trello is amazing. So I would definitely do that. I hope that helps. Okay. Patty says, how do I teach 18-month-old twins to mind themselves so daddy can work more? That's a brilliant question. I think we would be very, very wealthy if we could figure out that bit. I think creche or childminder, Paddy, that's what I have. That's what I've done. I remember when Bowie was very small. I was working when he was 2 months old. I went back to work, and I had just 2 hours a day to work, and I had someone come into my home to mind him for 2 hours downstairs while I worked. So that kind of worked for me. I think never try and do too much when it's not physically possible, because it's so stressful to try and multitask being a parent and trying to build a business at the same time. Like, it's hugely stressful. So I think definitely outsource that bit and get someone to come and play with them for an hour while you get your stuff done. You have to be super organized though when you're trying to multitask like that. But great question, Paddy. Rachel says, any advice, Tara, on how to be more visible in the retail purchaser space? Okay, stands at showcase are expensive, and that they are now have a waiting list with no guarantee of getting a place. Okay, so I think for retail purchasing, I think a lot of it has to do with cold calling, and getting out there in the car and actually going to meet people and finding out who the right person is and who to send who to send the stuff to. I wouldn't have huge amount of experience in the retail space, but if you kind of look at it logically, and I've worked in retail and ran retail, the big thing for me, and actually there was a guy, Rachel, that used to come in, I know it's in food, but he was very good actually. And what he did was he used to come in to my restaurant, and before he introduced himself or called me or reached out to me personally, he came in as a customer and sussed the place out and watched the footfall and watched what people were eating and what the conversation was. You know, he kind of researched the place first, because I have a great memory with faces, names, forget it, faces. Yes. So I knew his face from just coming in. And when he approached me then with his line of stuff, I was like, oh, hi, Liam, how's it going? You know, that's your name. I've served you, and then he told me why he did that. And so there was a connection there. Now, can you afford to go around and, you know, visit people? I think online, LinkedIn is where all the professional businesses are and the decision makers are. So I think LinkedIn strategy is important for you to get visible. Showcase is a very, very expensive way of doing it. It's very powerful, but competitive and expensive. So I'm glad that you highlighted that. So I think LinkedIn, to suss out who you want to actually approach, to find out who the decision maker is. And I'm sure you have key retailers that you want to actually get into. So look at who they're stocking currently and see, you know, they could be stocking 10 designers that you can reach out to, send an email to, say, hey, my name is Rachel. This is what I do. I know you're stocked in blah. I would love, if possible, to get some information on how you got into the store. Reach out. Remember who you're talking to, other creative business owners. And creatives, as I said in the intro to this live, are naturally givers. Not everybody will give that information, but if you don't ask, you know, you don't get. So I would go down that route first. I hope that helps, Rachel. Marie Claire says, a tip I saw in a vlog is to batch stuff. Yeah. So do a day of writing blogs, for example. I can't talk today. Example. Yes. And that's on my to-do list. Make sure you batch. I find batching really challenging and I try it all the time though. And I get the power of it. So what batching is, gang, if you're wondering what the hell is batching, batching is when you're creating content like blog writing or making videos and all that good stuff. It's doing it all at once. So you kind of work out your themes or your topics that you want to talk about. And because you're in the zone of writing or in the zone of making video, you do it in a batch, like in, okay, this Monday from this time to this time, I'm going to batch create all my content. And in theory, I think if you can do it, if you can get into that flow of batch content creating, I am still trying to get there, Marie Claire. I think it's an amazing feat. It's an amazing thing to chunk into your calendar, into your schedule. I just struggle with it because my day is broken up a lot with one-to-ones, and I heavily invest in the factory with ongoing communication with the factory. So I find it quite difficult to chunk that amount of time that I need to batch. But if you can, definitely, it's a great tip. Okay, so hey Trisha, how's it going? Trisha says, excellent advice, spot on topic. Have been feeling overwhelmed by all the info and the to-dos. Yeah, it is a bit stressful, all right. Like, so it is. So I hope that helped, Trisha, even though I can't remember what point now you're talking about, but it's the managing of the list, isn't it? Okay, so Vivian has put in her website. Well done. Not sure how to do that. Yes, I see that. Okay, cool. Just a point, actually, and I'm so happy that you did this, Vivian. So see here now, Vivian has put in her essentiallyv.com website, right? So what happens here, gang, and I see this a lot, actually, when you're sharing your website or your Instagram profile or your Facebook page or anything like that, I want you to copy the URL from the address bar at the top of your page, not just write, like Vivian, you have essentiallyv.com. That's great. That's not going to pull up a preview of your site. Remember, to get people to click through to your content, you need a visual to prompt them to do that. I see it every day inside Bite the Biscuit. When you're asking a question or you're putting up something and you just use text and no image, or there's nothing for people to visually be attracted to the post, in busy groups like that, you get lost. And I see it all the time going, look at that, no one has commented on that. That's why. And I'm so happy that you just highlighted that, Vivian. Make sure you share your content with the pre-thing of your website. You want your website image coming up with the website little thingy. You need some kind of visual. If you haven't figured that bit out of your website, like if you're still kind of putting it together and it doesn't naturally or automatically pull in that preview thingy, don't just say, yeah, it'll be grand. No, it won't be grand. To get more eyeballs, and Vivian, just like you asked, how do you get more hype over things? You pull an image that you have and you connect your URL and you put an image in there. Don't ever have nothing, because you're not going to get attention that way. So that's just a little pointer there. I hope that helps. Okay, Marie Claire says, ouch, I feel your pain. You sure have your hands full. Oh, Paddy with the twins. I hope they both sleep at the same time. Is that your only chance to get to work when they are asleep? Sounds like you could do it one of those live-in nannies. God, I'd love a live-in nanny as well. Okay, Lisa says, hey, Lisa, how's it going? Lisa, I just want to say to you, you've just been an amazing support to the Biscuit page. Thank you. You're amazing. You always come in and like, and thank you, Lisa. I really thank you. Okay, so Lisa says, this is so useful, Tara. We are launching direct organic sales here. The video or blog, a bit daunting. Okay, so Lisa, firstly, put the link in to show off, please. Put the link into your sales page, whatever that looks like, or your website, right? So the question Lisa is asking, I think, is the video or blog. So my recommendation on social media, whether you like it or not, live video gets the best traction. Live and video, actually. So Facebook want video, like they love video. So they're going to reward you if you create video, especially live video, because people love live video, right? And I know you're going, oh, vomit, live video. But, and I talked to someone about this yesterday who was allergic about being at the front of live video. You don't have to do like what I do, going, oh yeah. You don't have to do like me. You can do live video with the camera turned around to show your process, or to show your studio, or to show the packaging of your product. Invest in one of these yokes. They hold your camera, so you can put and you can, like, I mean, I'm not the best at this now, like, but you can do all that kind of stuff. So you don't have to be in front of the camera. You don't even have to talk. You can just show video of the thing that you're selling, you know. And there's a great group as well. I'm going to put the link in for this group that Jenny Kehoe is a great videographer, created from doing the foundation with me. And on the foundation, we do a live work, actually. And she created a group to practice your live streaming. Now I have to just practice ground. You're going live practice ground, it's called. And I'm going to put the link in here. This is a space, a safe space for you to practice going live, right? So you can go in here. Jenny, I'm just going to tag you on that, so you can just make sure if you're getting a load of people in that you know why. And I can't tag from here, so I'll tag you after. So So this is a group that you can go in and practice your live streaming in a safe, closed group, so nobody sees it except the people that are in there practicing. So I would go in sometimes to practice if I get a new lighting thing, or if I'm trying to switch thing, or if I'm doing an interview and I need to check new thingies. I would go into Jenny's group and test myself or test the things in there, and it's a great practice group, so I recommend that. So video or blog, what I do, and I think this is smart, if you're creating videos or live streams, download the video and put it into your blog. So that now becomes your blog, because what happens is if you create content on social media, the content gets lost and people get distracted and all of that. So you want to immortalize your content. So you create an interesting live stream, then you download it and you put it over in a blog and maybe talk a little bit about it with keywords and all that kind of good stuff for SEO. And you talk about what's happening in the video, but at least you're repurposing the content that you're creating already. So you don't have to be making shitloads of videos for blogs and for Facebook and for stories. Create one and then repurpose it. And it's really important to build up that blog content for many different reasons. But one of them is the more regular your content is on your blog, the more reason you have of sending the blog post out into social media, tease the topic out there with a little blurb and a snippet of your video or a screenshot or something. Do you want to watch the full video on this topic? Click over here. Why is that powerful? Because it's getting people back over to your a website, to that blog post. People are now on your site. That's where you want to get them. You don't really want to keep people on social media, because now it's great, but think about it, and it happens to us all the time. You're going to get distracted left, right, and center with all the other shiny things on social media. And plus, you don't get a real in-depth feel of somebody unless you go over to their website. So the objective really is to drive traffic to the website. So how you're going to do that? With regular content that you're creating, you snip it into your social feeds. You make sure that you're telling people to go back and watch the full video or read the full thingy or get whatever, and you're driving the traffic over there. So I hope that helps, Lisa. I hope I'm even answering that correctly. Maria Claire says the bullet journal is amazing for creative people. It is designed by a creative who has ADHD. It is a notebook concept that evolves with you. You create the index. It has a page for everything because you create it. Thank you so much for that reference, Marie Claire. And actually, Alison from Wildbird Studio was talking. She does that. She's in the factory. She was talking to us about that, and that's great. And thanks for the link, Marie Claire. Oh, Tara, I think my comment is still on your screen. Is it still on your screen? Is it gone? Hey, Karen McCarthy, how's it going? Okay, Rachel says, been doing that. Not all purchasers are easily accessible though, and lots have asked, are you doing Showcase? Okay, so then if Showcase is nearly part of that process, if that's nearly a given, is that if that's the route to your market to get into more retailers, is there a way of sharing the space? But then you have to ask yourself, Rachel, is it worth it? Is that like you have to invest in your business to get more business? That's just part of business, isn't it? So do you look at, well, if I can nail 10 new retailers, it actually makes sense for me to invest that money in. And what's my goal? What's my target from Showcase? How many retailers do I need to actually nail? So it might be just part of it, like, sorry, I couldn't be of more help there, Rachel. Tricia says, if you're looking at doing a new idea activity, I'm going to put that up. If you're looking at doing a new idea activity, would you recommend doing a poll on your Facebook page to get feedback before putting it out there for sale? Yes, yes, yes. If you already have an audience, ask your audience first before you create a product or service. Research validation is vital before you invest or put money or energy or your soul into something. You have to figure out before you launch something, will people buy this? Are they interested in this? Do they need this? Like, that has to happen first. Polling, yes. Sending out a survey monkey to your audience already. Asking people, go to networking events, get out there, talk to people, talk to your target market, ask them the questions like, is this something that you would find interesting? And talk to as many people as possible to get the data that you need to make that decision. I hope that helps, Tricia. So yes is the answer. Okay, so Lynn says, so when you've your hand in too many creative pots and needing to narrow it down and focus, and it feels like you're not being true to yourself by doing so, what should a person do? Glass art, photography, blogging, and the Daisies days. Okay. With you, Lynn, I think that they all have a place for each other with Daisy's days. I think there's something really important with you and your purpose and why you and Daisy and Ellie are on that journey together. And I think you can actually overlap all the things creatively to represent why you're here in the first place. And I think there's a very powerful and important message and movement that you're creating, Lynn. And please share the link to Daisy's page as well. But I think for you, and such a good point, when you have a lot of things going on, the key thing is, what's the overall why of what you do? Because 9 times out of 10, there's a link with all of them. A lot of creative stuff will come out of one thing, and your job is to solidify the thread between them so it all kind of makes sense. So for you, glass art, what does that glass art represent? And can you relate it back to Daisy's days and your overall purpose of actually doing what you do, Lynn, and how you can actually build that brand on the top first. So I think for you, it's personal branding is really, really vital for you, Lynn. And then underneath, you can create a lot of different things like the blog, the photography, the glass art. It's what sits at the top is important. You should really do the foundation program with me, Lynn. But definitely it's your personal brand at the top. That's what you need to really solidify, I think. Great, well done, Vivian. You'll get there. Okay. Lynn says 100% the video has biggest impact. 2.6 million views in 48 hours says it all. Wow, amazing. Holy shit, Lynn, that's incredible. But you're so consistent about your videos and they're so powerful. That is incredible. Oh my God, I'm getting really excited for you. Oh, impact. Like you are changing stuff, Lynn. So proud of what you do. Okay, Trisha says, how are we doing on time, gang? Yikes, 10 to 12. Trisha says, any suggestions for where to do your blog? I mean, a website or app to do it in first before you load onto your website page. I've done on Word and then put it on my site and shared link to my page, but I'm assuming this is very outdated. Well, if it works, I use Google Docs for creating stuff now, or notes on my phone. Like that's if I'm on the go and I'm in the queue or something and I think of an idea, like I wouldn't write a full blog on my phone because Jeannie Mac, like I'd be there for hours. But ideas, the Notes app is a great app on your phone, and also Google Docs is brilliant. You can just create a folder and put all your blogs in there and edit them and then copy and paste them onto your website. I hope that helps. Yeah, that's what I would suggest. But if Word documents work for you, that's okay, because you can edit them in there and do all the thingies and then just copy and paste them and put them in. Like, I think don't get too fandangled, gang, with having to have the newest app or the newest shiny thing. If you have something that works for you and that you're used to using and, you know, it's easy and, you know, don't be spending shitloads of time learning new thingies that you could actually be writing a blog and getting it out there instead, like, you know. I think especially when you're starting off, like I've done basics. I've just wrote right into my Squarespace site. I probably shouldn't have done that because I've lost stuff, and but I just thought this is the quickest way, but as you grow your business, and you always know when you need to introduce new tech stuff or new apps, when you're at a point going, I can't handle this, I need some techie help. At the very beginning, when you're like, okay, I'll do this and this and this, do what works. The important thing is get the stuff out. Don't be spending too much time researching all the things. Just get the fucking stuff out, and don't be regarding too much. Okay. God, my voice, am I getting old? Oh, it's breaking. I'm turning into a man. How bad. I'd love to be a man. Anyway, that's another live stream. Okay. Sharon says bullet journaling. Brilliant. God, I must try that, lads. Fab. Great stuff. Yeah. See, here's the thing though, with me, there's so many things, isn't there, that it's just, I don't have time to be integrating a new thing right now. but yeah, bullet journaling, Alison was on about that. I think that's that's such a good one. Okay, gang, I'm going to leave it for today. It's 10 to 12. Thank you so much for hopping in with me. I enjoyed that. I loved Q&A sessions. I think they're great. And I hope that kind of discussion has helped a few of you guys this morning. And don't give up. Show off. Make sure you're pulling the correct URL into your posts. And if someone has a call out on Instagram, please don't type in IG and then the name of your Instagram, or this is my Facebook page, and you don't copy and paste the URL into the comments. Make it really easy for people to click over to where you want them to go. You don't want people having to go into Instagram and type in the thing. People don't have time, and it's annoying. So always make it really, really easy for people to click over to your website, your Instagram, your sales page, wherever you want them to go. Okay, I hope that helps, and I'll see you next week. No, I won't see you next week. I'm not doing a live next week, am I? I don't think so. No, I am not doing a live on Monday in the factory. Sorry, effers. Okay, I'll see you guys here at 11 o'clock on Wednesday. The Biscuit Box. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great week, gang. Keep creative, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.